I want to do something here I have not done elsewhere. I want to step back from the abstract analysis and offer 5 short profiles of the people whose work has done most to shape my understanding of where AI is going. 5 vantages. 5 people. Outsized influence on how I think about it. Dario Amodei. Dario Amodei is, in 2026, the Chief Executive Officer of Anthropic, the AI lab that produces the Claude family of models, and one of the 2 or 3 most consequential figures in the post-GPT-4 era of artificial intelligence. He is 43. He is, by most descriptions of people who have worked with him closely, intense, soft-spoken, articulate, mathematically rigorous, slightly awkward in social settings, and, on the questions that matter to him, immovable. He grew up in San Francisco. Caltech, dropped out. Stanford, dropped out. Eventually completed his physics undergraduate degree before moving to Princeton for a doctorate in computational neuroscience. OpenAI from 2016 to early 2021, head of research. He led the team that produced GPT-3 and the foundation work for GPT-4. He left over disagreements about safety culture and direction. He co-founded Anthropic with his sister Daniela later that year. He has written, since 2024, a series of essays that have set the public terms of the AI debate to a degree no other CEO of a major lab has matched. Machines of Loving Grace. The urgency of interpretability. What I want to convey about Amodei, beyond the resume, he is one of the few people in this field whose public statements seem to actually correspond to what he believes. The gap between what he says publicly and what people who have worked with him report he says privately is narrower than the gap for most of his peers. This is unusual. The trying matters. The trying matters more than most readers of his essays realize. Demis Hassabis. Demis Hassabis is the Chief Executive Officer of Google DeepMind. He is, in 2026, the longest tenured operator at the top level of frontier AI. He is 49. He started as a chess prodigy in London, reaching master level by the age of 13. Video games. Doctorate in cognitive neuroscience at University College London, where he studied how the brain stores memories and how memory shapes imagination. He co-founded DeepMind in 2010, acquired by Google in 2014 for about $500 million. Under Hassabis, DeepMind has produced a body of work whose significance for the broader field is, by my judgment, second to none. AlphaGo over Lee Sedol. AlphaZero. AlphaFold. What I want to convey about Hassabis is that he is, more than any other major figure in the field, a scientist running a company. The companies he has run have been, in large part, attempts to use the methods of frontier machine learning to advance basic science. AlphaFold was the clearest expression of this. His deepest interest is using AI to accelerate the rate at which humanity solves big scientific problems. Consumer products are a consequence. Geoffrey Hinton. Geoffrey Hinton is, at 78 in 2026, the most senior surviving figure of the founding generation of deep learning. 2018 Turing Award. He is, more than any other living person, the reason modern AI exists in the form it does. His great-great-grandfather, George Boole, invented Boolean algebra. He spent the 1980s in postdoctoral and faculty positions, working on neural networks during a period when they were considered unfashionable and largely failed by the broader research community. He persisted, with a small group of collaborators, through the long winter of the 1990s and 2000s. The persistence eventually paid off. The 2012 AlexNet paper with his students Alex Krashevsky and Ilya Sutskever was the moment the rest of the AI research community realized deep learning had become capable of solving real problems. In 2023, at 75, Hinton resigned from Google to be able to speak more freely about what he had come to believe were the existential risks posed by the technology he had spent a half-century building. What I want to convey about Hinton is that he is, in a strange and telling way, the conscience of the field. He is too senior, too credentialed, and too obviously not a self-promoter for his concerns to be dismissed. When Hinton says he is worried, the field has to take the worry seriously. When Hinton says, as he has, that he regrets some of what he has spent his life building, the field has to sit with the regret. Daniel Kokotajlo. Daniel Kokotajlo is, in 2026, much less famous than the others in this chapter. I am including him because his work has done more to shape the public discussion of AI timelines and AI safety in the post-2024 period than the work of anyone outside the major lab CEO ranks. Philosopher by training. 2022 doctorate from UNC Chapel Hill. Dissertation on infinite ethics. Worked briefly at OpenAI on the policy team. Left in 2024 in protest and forfeited a significant portion of his vested equity in order to retain the right to speak publicly. After leaving, he co-founded the AI Futures Project, which produced in 2025 a document called AI 2027 that has become one of the most widely discussed scenario forecasts in the field. What I want to convey about Kokotajlo is that he represents a particular ethical type the AI era has produced. The young technologist who has decided that the trajectory of the technology is too important to be shaped only by people inside the labs, and who has paid significant personal cost to participate in the broader conversation. They are owed serious consideration by anyone trying to think carefully about where this is going. Olah. Olah is, in 2026, the head of the interpretability team at Anthropic. He is, by my judgment, the most important AI researcher in the world that most readers of this book will not have heard of. He famously did not finish a college degree. He worked on his own through his late teens and early 20s before being recruited by Google Brain in 2014. His work has been on interpretability, how to take a trained neural network whose weights are inscrutable and develop tools that allow humans to understand, in concrete terms, what the network is actually computing. What I want to convey about Olah is that the work he is doing is the work that, more than any other research direction, has the potential to bend the alignment problem from intractable to tractable. If the interpretability research succeeds, if in the next 10 years we develop tools that allow us to look at a trained AI and reliably understand what it is doing, then alignment becomes, if not easy, at least conceivable. The stakes are enormous. The public discussion is approximately zero. Olah is one of the people doing it. He should be more famous than he is. Until then, you should know who he is, and that he is on your side.
I was awake. She wears it.